of lodgepole pine. A lifespan of, let's say, 350 to those distant mountains called the Absarokas, the name for the crows. Also red squirrels. Red squirrels are busy all the time harvesting those seeds and catching them in their middens in the layer. You can see these trees off to the left. These are white bark pine. They produce a very nutritious, high-calorie seed that spectacular scenery. Tremendous variety in landscape and changes of scenery. But when we see the new road building between 1891 to 1904, this was the last section of road to be completed. Wheel drivers and bus drivers who said that Mae West had a few curves of her own. But our figure-8 road system, including this road, Mount Washburn, the Dunraven Pass, all designed by Hiram Chittenden, Chief of the Corps of Army Engineers, who masterminded our figure-8 road system back in the stagecoach era. Did his major road building between 1891 to 1904. This was the last section of road to be completed. 6. But it's spectacular. See some big bull bison loners down there. Good grizzly bear habitat and black bear habitat as well. Now, Yellowstone has been formed by dynamic natural processes. So I started out by mentioning the third caldera eruption, huge volcanic eruption. Spectacular view of calcites, the Yellowstone River, basalt rock. We call it the basalt of the Narrows, this narrowest portion of the canyon. I think we can make our way in here. It's my favorite pull-out around here. Thank you, Claire. To the left, we can see basalt columns, B-A-S-A-L-T. This is a type of lava rock. Now, what we can't really see, the bedrock down below on the right, from the Absaroka volcanics from about 50 million years ago. So, if we were going to turn out this way, that eventually take us to the northeast entrance and Cook City. Actually, Silvergate first, then Cook City. Cook City was once an old mining town outside the northeast entrance. This is all part of the northern trees here. Not so many Douglas firs, but actually they're starting to regrow pretty well up on the left. I'll also see lodgepole pines, aspen trees, spruce trees, a whole variety. Douglas fir trees actually do have a thick way as the Absaroka Mountains, at least 20 miles away. And at one time, almost all of Yellowstone was covered by a thick ice cap. So those glaciers started to finally move under their own weight with the flow of gravity, carrying with them big boulders from the mountains, or oftentimes, grinding rock in their path. Sometimes becoming coated with water and then freeze, and in freezing cold temperatures that expands and breaks the rock apart. So eradicate, and it grows in many places throughout Yellowstone, also in the Gallatin River Canyon, different places in Montana. Surface. Actually, it starts out as tiny cracks and fissures deep below the ground, or even at the surface, and water, part of the ash flow, erupted from the 2.1 million year old caldera eruption. And it's very hard and erosion resistant, very glassy. Underneath, though, very different formation, sinter or geyserite, but up here, travertine because of limestone. Created in 1916. That was still during the Army's administration of the park. So we've got 3 different administrators here off to the right. If you look high up on the right, you'll see part of the Terrace Mountains. That's where all this came from. Here, Terrace Mountain. And a nice look at Bunsen Peak and Cathedral Rock to the left. Growing on it, like a fungus and an algae that feed off of each other, nourish each other. And to the left, the Pillar of Hercules. All these kind of mythological names, as I mentioned, given by Frank J. Haynes, our official photographer, and Gila Henderson, an early tour operator. And so actually we find many different terraces, names like Hot Spring Basin. I don't believe there are any trails through there. It's probably completely off limits now to foot traffic. But Gibbon Meadows. To ruin, and then it burnt down a couple of years later. But that was the end of that. But that was in Pleasant Valley, so that's where the cookout takes place to this day. Are they doing shoulder work or road striping here?
Pony Express.
Pony Express, yeah. That's the idea. All the way down to Madison Junction. There it merges with the Firehole River to form the Madison. You see somebody maybe attempting to fly fish there. Check it out. This Gibbon River has been the subject of some intensive fish conservation efforts in the last couple of years. There are native fish used of this kind we see, and also a steam vent a little bit higher in the hillside behind it. So take a quick look there and see this constantly boiling spring. This altitude about 199 degrees Fahrenheit.
on the trees, you notice where the bark has been rubbed off. That's bison. Those are bison. bison rubbing up against the trees there, whether it's their horns or just their bodies. They've got an itch or whatever it might be, and that's what they leave behind when they're done.
You have a knack for adjusting it right. I can't.
I'm surprised it doesn't adjust it for lighting conditions.
Is this the Fire River?
What?
What's the name of this river?
Firehole. It's Firehole.
Firehole River.
Yeah.
If I don't say it on the video, I'll say, which one's this? You're about to
Got some depth there.
To get the best pictures, put your camera lenses right up against the glass to reduce as much glare as you can. Yeah, that's a cruiser.
I'm getting them. These RVs are.
Robin, can't you call him over?
Mr. Robbins can go out there and stand if we come to him.
He can get closer by rule of thumb.
We'll wrap you in bacon.
He's a little hard. Gary, you want to take over this? Sure. There you go. It's just grazing along. This is what you call bear jam. Bear jam? Bear jam. You're doing better than me here. How far away do you think that is? 300 yards? That's about 300 yards? 200 yards?
Yeah, question about how do we know that's a grizzly? If you look at the bear, you notice that big hump over his shoulders? Yeah. Grizzlies, that's just a big old, a big huge muscle. And it's just a big old, yeah, it's not fat, it's a muscle. And between that and the other thing is, you notice how the sunlight highlights the tips of their fur. See how they kind of glisten, they kind of gleam? Okay, black bears don't gleam like that. So between the hump and the gleaming, that's a grizzly. And he or she is generating all this attention, but I promise you, that bear has no idea. That bear doesn't have any idea, he doesn't care, he's not paying any attention. He is totally focused on food. He's totally focused right now. Bears have incredible hearing. They have an incredible sense of smell, but they're also horribly nearsighted. So he can probably hear all the commotion. He can probably smell it, but as far as seeing it, no. So he's just focusing on matters at hand. That bear has to put away about 20,000 calories a day right now to have a decent hibernation. And they're getting to that point in the year where they're about where they go into a they start super feeding, hyper feeding, and they'll feed 20 to 22 hours a day eating food in preparation for their hibernation in the winter. So yeah, these bears just that's their focus right now.
Yeah.
Kind of see all the different colors around the spring, and would love to take you there, folks, but you can't really see it from ground level. And that observation area over there, you still can't see it almost. All right. So anyway, so you've got Old Faithful Inn, you have Old Faithful Lodge. There also is a Yellowstone General Store there, and there's also a place called the Snow Lodge. It's a little farther back. Distance over there on the left at about 11 o'clock. A bunch of them out there too. So yeah, they're just a little bit farther out today. Minutes before the scheduled eruption. So when you go
that's all right.
Gardner. You're in Montana now, by the way, folks. You are in Montana. Yeah, little, maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, but about 95%